once you have your Minisite template and you've started customizing it with your own text and the links you want, if you're having any links in it, well, even if you have a one-page Minisite or a Minisite which is made up of several or even more pages, then after the initial adding of content, adding of text, specifying your subheadings, specifying your link text and where your links are going, you can start applying more advanced formatting. And in Mozilla Composer, they put most of the formatting options in the single format menu. It makes things very straightforward. So let's start going through some of these examples. Let's say you wanted some text to be bold. You would click, hold and drag to select the text, format, text style, bold, and that's all it takes. If we select the same text, format, you can change the font here, format, font, and then it's recommended you only stick to the Arial / Helvetica font or the Times font, also known as Times New Roman, or the Courier font. Beyond those three fonts, you can have lots of fonts installed on your computer, but you can't guarantee other people viewing your web page will also have the font installed. So to be on the safe side, it's recommended you stick to those three. Again, you can change the size, of course, and the color. Let's say we wanted this text to be orange, and it also gives you the color code here, the hash symbol, 2 Fs, 2 9s, and 2 zeros. That's the code for that color. So that's how it looks. So let's apply these settings to the entire first paragraph so we can see them very clearly. So back to the format menu. What else is available? Italic. That's how italic looks. Okay, back to the format menu. Text. Let's try again. Text style. Underline. That's how underline looks. I would use underline fairly sparingly. It's good for emphasizing certain words, but it can confuse people into thinking it's clickable, because obviously clickable text often has an underline. Like this, a link often has an underline, so people may be clicking it wondering why it isn't working. So it can be effective, but use it fairly sparingly. Okay, format, strike through. Obviously you wouldn't use that very often. For example, if you put the price up of a product, or you're doing a special offer, you may wish to strike through, like this, the original price, but you wouldn't use this a huge amount. Okay, format, text style, superscript. Okay, it doesn't seem to have done anything. If you ever make a mistake, it's very easy to simply go edit, edit, undo. And actually, let's edit undo again. You can edit undo quite a bit. Let's go rid of the strike through. Let's select one word and try superscript. Okay, it doesn't seem as if you can apply superscript to an entire paragraph, but just one word seems to be fine. So that's how superscript looks. Okay, let's see what else we've got. Subscript, which is the opposite. Fixed width, num-breaking. So you may wish to play around with these, with your own text, and see what works for you, and play around with different colours. And And what you can do, you may not find a huge amount of use for this, but you may find this useful from time to time, is format table cell properties. And you can apply settings to just this table cell. And a table cell, this is the entire table. A table cell is just one block of the table. So okay, click here, put the cursor here, format table cell properties. Okay, the menu always seems to get stuck on the font options. So there we go, table cell properties. And you can apply one color to this table cell. So background color, let's say very light blue. And that's how it looks. You may find some use for this. I very sparingly use this. So let's edit undo that. Okay, just a few more formatting options. Format. Let me actually select some text. Let me select this paragraph. Format. You can indent the text, as you can see. Basically adds a left-hand margin to the text you select. You can do it as much as you want. And you can also reverse it by either doing edit undo or format decrease indent. Okay, and finally a very useful formatting option. Let's press enter here at the end of the document a couple of times to put our cursor here, our text cursor. Format, we want list, and you can choose a style of list. Generally you're dealing with bulleted, which is basically this, bulleted or numbered. So choose bulleted, that's how it looks. Item number 1, item number 2, item number 3. Every time you press enter, it adds an extra bullet. If you press enter again, then on an empty bullet, it ends the list. So let me show you that again. If I click here with the cursor, press at the end of the line to add an extra bullet. If you want to finish the list, don't add anything to the bullet, just press enter again, and the list finishes. So now format list numbered. You can see that's a bulleted list, this is a numbered list. So item 1, enter, item 2, enter, item 3. And what you may even wish to do is sub-lists. So a list within a list. So if we enter the cursor here, I'm going to press enter to create a new bullet, as you can see. But then what I'm going to do is choose format, increase. Okay, it always seems to get stuck on the font submenu. You have to shake the mouse a bit sometimes. Okay, increase indent. Submenu item 1, press enter, submenu item 2. So you can see how that works. Submenu item 3. Click there, press enter, format, increase indent, yet another sub-menu. So that's how easy it is to create bulleted lists and sub-menus, and this works just as well on numbered lists. And as you can see, you add items and it automatically reorders the list, so everything's in order. You would have to change the text then. I have to change the text here then, so change item 3 to item 4. And you can add sub-menus, enter, format, increase. Okay, again, increase indent. This is a sub-menu. So you can see how that works. So those are a number of the formatting options you have available to to make your page look more effective, more attractive, and more striking. And finally, of course, very importantly, the ability to add graphics. I'm going to add some space, insert image, okay, and the image properties box appears. Image location, you can click on choose file. I'm working on the desktop, so that's fine. I've got a small image there, louis.jpg, a tiny photo that was taken of me a few years ago that I use on some websites occasionally. Not the most professional photo, but it seems to work okay. So open that. And at the minute we're keeping URL is relative to page location. Keep it ticked. Alternate text. You can add some alternate text here, which means if the image can't display for any reason, the text you enter here displays instead. You can choose not to use alternate text, or you can have alternate text. And I could just put my name. Let's say Portrait of Louis Allport. Okay, so there we go. And then of course you can choose format, align center, and if you click on it and choose format, image properties, we can make some further settings. And actually in most instances the default settings are fine. However, I'm going to go to the advanced edit here, and you may want to look into this. Basically, most of the time you won't need to deal with this, but what I'm going to do here, it shows you the HTML, the code attributes you've set up. So width 89, height 101, the source of the image, alt text. What you can do is choose an attribute here. I'm going to choose the border attribute, and you can choose the border width. I'm going to choose 2 pixels. So OK that. So now our picture has got a black border, as you can see, 2 pixels wide. And if we now save this, actually let me do that again, but this time file save as, let's give it a new name. Let's call it page with formatting. Okay, you don't need to add the .html, because it should, if we remove that, it should automatically add it, because you're saving it as type, save as type, HTML file. Save. Okay, so minimize composer. There we go, page with formatting .html. So let's double click and see how that looks. And as the browser opens, okay, it takes its time. We should get there in a couple of seconds. There we go. So that's how it's looking now. As you can see, there's our formatting, our indented paragraph, there's the picture with the border, a bulleted list with sublists, and a numbered list with a sublist. And one final point, what you want to do generally is, wherever you're working on your web page, so if you're working, I'm working on the desktop here, so wherever you're working you want to have your image files in the same folder. So you want to keep them together like this. That makes things easiest, and you'll find that makes things easiest in most instances. So that is how you can use Mozilla Composer to easily apply pretty advanced formatting and pretty advanced formatting to your web pages, which can make them very effective, even more striking, and can make them even more usable, especially if you're dealing with lists, a numbered list, and want to start adding images, and so on. And actually, just one very final point for this video. If you just click once on the image, you can go to Insert Link, and you can make an image clickable. So you can see here, enter a web page location. So let's just keep things simple. http://www.google.com. Okay, and then let's OK that. File, save, back to the browser, refresh, and there's our image. And as you see, we had our border there of our black border of 2 pixels wide. When it becomes clickable, the browser makes it more of a bluish border. So if we click at that takes us to Google. So that's how to make an image clickable. So that's how you can apply formatting and images quickly and easily to your templates and to your Minisite web pages.